That they just mandate all this stuff. And this is how they have their control. So they do have big business, but this is how they do big business. And what if you look at Germany, what they're trying to do? I mean, I'd love to do a project over there. They took complete control of everything. It was basically socialist government. And then they retrained business because they knew that to be green, it will cost less, right? But you have to make the transition, and we don't want to take 200 years. We want to take 10. So they took control of everything, and what you'll find, even for their architects and building codes, they are slowly releasing because everyone got the ideas, oh gosh, it's more expensive if I do it this way. You know, I will lose money if I go back to the old way. And you will find this in Japan. You will find these kinds of codes, and your drawings and your practice have to follow. I mean, architecture follows society. It never leads. We are low on the food chain. We always reflect society. We always reflect religion and politics, and we're just like artists. I mean, if there weren't people, there would be nothing to comment on, right? So that's kind of how that whole thing evolves, and how you have to be very fluid. I'm more fluid than here. We don't have those safety checks. We like to get approval here with this massive drawings and all this stuff, which is silly because you still have to do shop drawings where everything changes, right? And now you're hamstringed with it, right? At least that way it's a little more fluid and it has a chance to evolve. So there's a plus and a minus to it of how you practice. So it forces you to be fluid. So when American architects go over there, we want assurances, we want to get a permit, we want to get our financing, we want to have it all done and stuff, and they're like, welcome to the new world to us. You're going to have to flow with us, and you're going to have to work with us, and you'll have to be honest, and you can't slide things around. So at one point there's this huge kind of undercurrent of manipulation, because obviously that utopia has a dystopia to it as well too. So, but it's a different way of working. So, and you draw less, you coordinate more, and you make decisions very early. I mean, that's the bottom line of how you work, is you have to actually make a decision very early. So it's catch-22.
It's pretty interesting.
So, sorry, that was a lot.
No,
that
that's
was
pretty
I think I'll
interesting.
probably answered quite a few questions.
Well, actually, I have
It's
a
kind of a
question on
net-net.
that. Is that a hard risk to take? I mean, was that a hard risk for you just to say, oh?
I prefer it.
I mean, okay.
If I had my way, I would try hard never to build another project here. it's just so backwards. I mean, even building in Denver, building an apartment is actually decent. Colorado Springs building an apartment, I mean, they're remarkably helpful, but even just the entire process of, I have to submit a set of complete drawings here, but I have to get fire department approval. And depending on jurisdiction, some places the state approves it, and some places the local fire department approves it. They still don't have it fleshed out. And it's this, you never know what's going on. I mean, because they have, I can't remember the acronym or the political correct statement they use for it now. No one really knows who approves what. And the fire departments say, I want to approve it because I have to go put the fire out. And we're going to follow National Fire Protection Agency regulations. But even here in Denver, it's just, and then you still have to submit now, you're starting to have to submit more and more shop drawings. We've got an engineer, we engineered everything, it's stamped, he's responsible, but those shop drawings, those steel drawings, go to a steel manufacturer, and they actually detail every little piece, and even your window wall systems. The engineer tells them what the wind load is. The wind loading per the joints get done by the window manufacturer's engineer. You know, and here I am, my design is done. I'm signed off. I think I'm done. I'm ready to do contract administration. I'm trying to get bids and stuff. And I literally still have this thing that has technically not been engineered. So over in like France or Germany, and strangely like even Romania, I mean, they have a really good system. They just say, give all this stuff to me now. Just cut out all the crap, you know, no pretend, just go straight with the manufacturers. And what they'll do is they'll just give you a sheet of approved manufacturers.
So is architecture as a reflection of society, then the whole process of getting things built would also be a reflection of the society, is what you're saying. So why is it that, do you think that our society has constructed that kind of framework in comparison?
Architects are very low in the food chain here, and our politics show that, and how you submit the bill department reveals that. Over there, if it's legislated because of sustainability issues or because of their process, what will happen over there is the building officials have to become educated about architecture and building and technologies and manufacturing, just so they can write the laws that they can actually execute, that actually have teeth. So they're just much more aware of it. Over here, it's a set of drawings. You know, if you look at what AIA says, lovely AIA says about this is a service industry. Well, that's true, but that's like saying our hearts are blood pumps, right? I mean, there's a little more going on, right? It is a service industry, but it is an art. It is a technology. It is a science. It has huge impacts. So their governments and their people have to engage with architecture, where over here, it's all about fire code.
How often is that a conversation that you have in your firm, that architecture it does have these impacts? Is that a conversation?
What kind of impacts?
Maybe cultural, social, all those ideas. Is that?
Yeah, I think it ends up needing to be part of your kind of philosophy of architecture, which, I hopefully do nurture. Architecture to me is a social science. So everyone in the office kind of buys off on that. And then, okay, what do you mean by social science? What do you mean by architecture? How does that work? How does it reflect? Once you do that, there's a lot of additional responsibilities that are entailed in that. So from that, you can start you just start questioning. Yes, it's a professional practice, but if you remember, even the way you design, it's really interesting, the way we design, if the codes are set up a certain way, if we change our concept of building, it reflects the whole design as a circular path, and I'm a real stickler, like, we will design and design and design